Okay, live over there. Live over here. And let's start the comic. And good evening to you too. First, let's get the text right. Or at least a base of the text. Title. How much? Oh, typing. My fingers are still too cold. And hello to you too. We have a new viewer. Welcome to the comic. Currently writing a Dutch comic, hence why there's Dutch text. Oh, you're from the Mastodon, or Mastodon, whatever the intonation is. Well, be welcome. As you can hear, the stream is in English, even though the text on screen is going to be in Dutch. And feel free to ask any interpretations in case you need it, because I don't know which language you speak originally. And it's usually a monologue with sometimes people joining, so feel free to talk to me. And I'm not saying names and the likes, because this will later be uploaded on YouTube and I want to preserve people's privacy. Oh, I can read a little bit of French as well. I'm better at reading French than speaking it. And listening, I'm even worse. But usually I can, signs, food containers, most of the time. And English is my second language. Born and raised Dutch. Yes, indeed. French really goes fast. I did not graduate with a passing grade for French. I had a 50%, and you're supposed to have 60%, but because I had higher other grades, they could compensate, and that's why I still graduated. But if I have a weird accent, that's probably because, I'm Dutch. First we're gonna sketch. Need a bigger brush. Oh, the program I'm using is very old and doesn't always get the pen sensitivity loaded. So then I just need to restart it. And I'm glad you think that about accents. And right now I'm making a comic for my town's local newspaper. It's a digital newspaper because print is not feasible anymore. And right now this comic is going to be about smoke alarms. There's going to be there's a new law since past summer that every household is obligated to have a smoke detector on every floor of the house. But a lot of people don't know that. Well, they should know that. A lot of people don't have that, and don't know where to place them or which ones to buy. So my town is organizing like a workshop fair where they can explain things, have a little show and tell about different smoke alarms, and I try to make it very funny and all. So I might go myself. And I'm very free in what I draw. I can decide my own subjects as long as it's about my town or something that happened to me. And currently there's not much information to work with because my town is kind of like a sleepy town. So I'm glad I only have to do one comic of 4 panels a week. Maybe I can make a little smoke detector over here. Next sketch. So let's make one hanging on the ceiling with a little light and a little button and a broom handle. This looks like a weird thumb. And let's add a little bit of hair of the main character. I have a standard character, so this doesn't look like her at all. Let's see. If we're going to have the face like this, then these are going to be here, and this one's going to be here with a little bit of this. And this broomstick is way too thick. Looks more like a snow shovel. But technically the smoke detector is way too big as well, so instead of making it smaller, how about making our main character bigger? And still looks too much like a fingernail. Of course it's going to be better when I color it, but it really looks like a fingernail. How about making the handle more like this? I think that looks less like a broomstick. Let's see if I can make a post like that. It's technically a safety comic this time, so but better safe than sorry, I guess. Hand's gonna be tricky, but I'm gonna try it anyway. I hope it doesn't look like a fingernail, because if your fingernail looks like that, whoop, that's very scary. Wait, maybe if I can do the fingers like this, have a thumb like that, then I can have her holding the vacuum cleaner. Make it a little bit higher. And a ladder, or a step ladder. That doesn't look like a ladder. Let me look for a reference of a ladder. Okay, that's which side? Oh wait, this is a nice reference. Just gonna copy a random image for now. No, not save it, copy it. This needs to be a bit bigger. Sure, things are still a little bit distorted because, well, otherwise it doesn't fit. So that means that if I draw it, it should be something like this. This one's going to over here. And we have a little plateau over here. A little bit lower perspective wise. This looks more like a ladder. Of course, this different layer. Technically, you should even hold yourself, so I'm quite interested if anyone will mention this. I hope that if this comic goes quite fast, I have some time to work on my other illustration. At least I want to do a stack of books today again. Let's remove the reference. I don't need the letter anymore, and I have the image. There's a hand over here. A little bit of fingers over here. And to divide the face. Oh, that's a bit crooked. There we go. Now, that's the sketch. Now to go to the art, remove the text. And get a line art layer. It's still quite chilly here. Well, at least I managed to see the Jupiter and Venus thing. And apparently, my backdoor neighbor is training as well. I don't think he expected me to look back and see him. Oh well, it's a grown man. He used to be a professional... well, I'm not really sure if he's a professional, but as far as I know, he used to be in the army. And he used to cycle, racing cycling, like, well, I don't think he was in the Tour de France, but, you know, that kind of cycling. And he's still training, and he has his training bike on the attic, and I have my drawing space on the attic. Is it a bit the same size? Yeah, it's pretty much the same size. Do I like the crooked face? Yeah, the crooked smile works in this case to keep it a bit more playful. And this is comic 773. I sometimes mix up the numbers in English because in Dutch it's first the 3 and then the 70. So in Dutch it's 773, 770, and in English it's 773. So sometimes I mix up those numbers. Where are you? So that's why I don't need that much sketch lines anymore, because, well, I've been drawing this girl for, well, almost 15 years now. Style has changed more than once. That finger needs to be a little bit longer. Is that a circle? Oh, almost circlish. Oh, I don't think she will change that much anymore. I mean, I actually only changed the eye style. If you compare Penny 1 till now, actually lines have just been more free and just the eye style changed. But the eye style changed in my overall work, so. And let's see if I can find a Dutch fireman hell. Those are the classics. But I don't want the classics, I want a Dutch one. I also don't want the sexy fireman. The Dutch firemen are actually quite boring. That's a Belgium one. There is even a difference there. But really, it's just a white helmet with us? Oh, we're so boring. That's a way too big. Way too big. That's not a circle. And that's absolutely not a circle. I know I can use a tool. I just want to hand draw it. Just to give it a more, well, hand drawn feel. Well, this is a decent circle, but it's too big, so I'm just gonna shrink it. Even more. Is this about the right size? Even smaller? A bit lower. Her main outfit of Penny is still the same in 15 years. She just has occasionally other clothes, then her main outfit is in the wash. That's a bit too... Why doesn't it even have one of the... Probably for safety. They probably thought about this design more than I did. But... See, and for some other reason they have a little... That's way too far apart. This looks more like one of those anime frogs. Is that's not really the center, but maybe I can. I need a smaller brush. Oh, how about we give her another arm? Now that would be a drastic character change. Talking about drastic character changes, I'm still working on that sketch project where I'm trying to make a sketch page of all my characters to get to know them, to get them as references, to get more inspiration for clothes. And one of my characters, I won't tell which one, but he will appear in an upcoming novel, not the ones that already appeared, will have an accident, a hunting accident, which causes him to lose his little pinky. So, when it comes to disabilities, I have a main character who lost her leg and her eye. I have another character who loses her eye. I don't really have much characters who are born with disabilities. Most lose something or get in an accident or whatever. Oh, right, I have a one-armed king. But I actually still have to create a character that's born with a disability. I do have one with an allergy, one that's magically healed, and I have another character which is in a very short upcoming story that will probably have a solve. Well, allergy is not the wrong word. I mean, he's very sensitive for salt, so probably kidney problems, which was never an issue when he was a kid because he wasn't fed well then, but now that he's being fed well, it suddenly comes to light. I still have to look up which illnesses have salt. So it's usually kidneys. And of course, considering it's an alien planet, I can just make up the illness. Right, I also have a blind character. And maybe this sounds like, whoa, you have a lot of characters with disabilities, but technically I have hundreds, thousands of people living there, so it's still a fragment. Right, let's finish the broom. Yeah, this doesn't look right. Line isn't nice. So we're just gonna do like this. There we go. That looks a lot better. I also had a character that was severely injured and disabled, having lost touch and having lost an eye. But that was magically healed because we needed a happy ending. Do I have a character with glasses? I do have a character with glasses who doesn't need them, but he just wants to pretend he's smart, so that's why he's wearing glasses. But I don't really have one with glasses, and it's a bit troubling that the main tribe I have solves everything with magic. So, but that story is for now finished, so we're going to different settings that don't have magical healers or not as powerful magical healers. So we're getting a bit less Deus Ex Machina before we return to the tribe with the big magical healer again. Okay, let's at least make our ceiling a straight line. Right, it needed to be like this high because of the text. And while it is great to have omnipotent characters, they sometimes get a bit boring to write about. Because everything can be fixed with magic, so why wouldn't they? That's why I want to switch to a different tribe that doesn't have those capabilities, where an injury can be permanent and can be death. Right, let's see if I can make anything of this mess. Let's first do the face. Did I even add these? No, I didn't. But I'd like to think that I've been writing this story about 10 years, maybe? When did I start writing it? That would be 2001? No, it was later. When did I start writing it? And I can easily check that, but when was the first art uploaded? Because, of course, I write an art because I can choose. So now I'm both. Eh, I'd have to search completely, but let's say around 2003. Oh, that's the 20-year anniversary this year, more or less. So I've been writing about this world about 20 years, still working on publishing the books. So I'd like to say the story is maturing, the world is maturing. I really like the 7th novel I wrote. I already have an idea what to draw for the images. Don't have an absolute clear visual just yet, at least some idea. I want to make a group picture, a big group picture of the tribes who are still in there, which would be about 13 and about between 25 and 30 characters. I would have to count. So that's going to be a big picture. And I am contemplating on doing it in chibi style. I don't like that smile. That's better. So, it's the number 3000. But really, of all the books, book 4 is my least favorite. It's a bit classic stereotype. Then book 1, because I still had no idea what I was doing. Followed by book 2, still not one of my faves. Book 3 was my desperate attempt to be more philosophical and poetic, with a very classic theme. Book 5, yeah, it's a bit, well, there are 2 story arcs and I like the second story arc way better than the first story arc. And of course then you have book 6, which I partly like. But book 7 is my definite fave. I didn't expect that writing about politics would be so much fun. Plus, the main character wasn't really the main character anymore. She was the main character, just, well, I wouldn't want to spoil too much, but she wasn't really the main character anymore. And that's why I decided to write one more book about my favorite chaotic band of idiots. Now to make my stepladder. And there's a little line over here. Over here. There we go. Did I get everything? No, of course not, because there is still a smoke detector I have to make. How about, let's see, I'm gonna try something. Because sound gets distorted when you put a vacuum on it. That's uneven ice. Do I like a cat face? No, I don't like a cat face for Penny. I know people like cat face, but somehow the cat grin isn't really suitable for Penny. Just doesn't work. Mm. That's a bit too much. And I am wondering if what I'm feeling is because I had too much tzatziki. We still had some leftover food. So I took some tzatziki, but you know, me and milk products. Technically it should be fine because tzatziki is usually made with yogurt. So there's less lactose in there. But you know, my body is weird. How does this work? You see the pinky. And do you actually see the other ones? Hey, good evening to you too. It looks more like a thumb instead of a pinky. And this needs to be a bit more bigger. Let's see if this link opens in the right screen. Yes, it does. Just got a link sent through from my love, who sent me a little Lego set of Wally and Eve, and it's utterly adorable. Yes, I know yogurt is made from milk, but yogurt is supposed to have a lot less lactose than milk because of the acidity. Hence why yogurt is usually fine for people with lactose intolerance. But this is a homemade tzatziki, so maybe it was higher. The yogurt had a higher lactose content. But I'm well aware that yogurt is made of milk. I've also been well aware that cheese is made of milk, because I thought I found an aged cheese that would be low in lactose. Ask me how I know it wasn't. Let's make it a bit more thin. I recently found out that some potato chips companies, like Lay's, put milk in their chips. They're snacky chips, so not fries chips. And there are companies who make coated nuts, mostly Duivis, that also uses milk. There are the companies with meatballs that put milk in the meatballs. And they use milk in those products, or actually milk powder. which contains the lactose. And they use that because it's a very cheap binding agent. So instead of more expensive binding agents, I have no idea what, for example, because I'm not a chef, but there are other binding agents and milk is just cheap. So they put in it because who on earth is allergic to milk? Hey, Hand, what are you doing? Please go down. But it turns out that about 1 in 5? I'm not sure. Let's see if I can find it out. How many people are lactose intolerant? It's very common. Okay, it's rarely dangerous. Yes, but it's very painful. 30 million adults, American adults. Okay, yeah, that doesn't really. What percentage of the world is lactose intolerant? About 68% of the world's population. And I believe, DNA-wise, that Asian people have even less tolerance for that, but I'm not sure about that. But I found some vegan ice cream, Cornetto's, for example, and Magnum, big companies that make it that make ice cream, and they have vegan options, and it's quite nice. And I need to have a little break because, yep, this tzatziki was high on lactose. One moment, please. And I'm back. Had indeed to do a little restroom stop. And while you're sitting there contemplating life, I figured it might not have been a tzatziki. Because I also had gyros, the Greek shredded meat with spices. And I was quite fat. And it was probably fried, baked, and they probably used butter to fry it in. Gee, butter! I wonder what that's made from. Of course, you have vegetable butter, but vegetable butter is more expensive than cow butter. I think this is going to be the line art. Anyway, I saw a message, American numbers, they don't go to the doctors unless they're dying. Yeah, American healthcare, I've heard about it. See, I'm missing a line. Right? Yes, I'm missing a line. Yeah, you can have peanut oil, but I don't think our Greek restaurants use that. Because peanut oil is not very common in the Netherlands. Palm oil is more used, or sunseed oil. Or sunflower oil, whatever you want to call it. And there are, by the way, peanut butters with added milk. All those products with extra calcium and good for the bones, you know, those things, that's what I'm allergic to. And it's becoming more because I'm aging. And I've had people like, but there's those little lactase pills. You can take those and then you can eat whatever you want. Yeah. Even if I eat the maximum of those pills, you are allowed 3, and that's the max of this brand. And that's the highest brand there is. I still get poisoned of lactose. I'm really, really lactose intolerant. I know a lot of people think I'm overreacting, so... And I have an off-screen chat as well. I completely forgot to say hi, but I had a little interruption anyway. Great. Someone who made cookbooks is getting a new badge. That's nice. Because they will be in my online shop. And you like book 1, the favorite. And of course you like 6 because you love traveling. Now, how about we start coloring? Can't really see what I'm doing with the layers because I'm doing those off screen. Just so I have more space to let people watch, look along, view along, stream wise. Otherwise I would have to move it all the time. Bright orange hair, sure. It's a fire smoke detector comic, so it's allowed to be bright. A lot of people don't know you're supposed to vacuum your smoke detector once in a while, because otherwise dust gets in there. And most smoke detectors are optic detectors, and they respond to dust as well. So if you have an optic smoke detector, you might want to vacuum it once in a while. That's a bit too pale. Needs to be a little bit more dark. Yep. But yeah, being allergic to milk, it's something you can live with. There's plenty of stuff you can eat. Just when you have one of those down days you can't binge on a bucket of ice cream. Or you can't have chocolate because milk chocolate. And sure, you can have dark chocolate. That usually doesn't have milk in it. But unfortunately, I don't really like dark chocolate that much. I do like white chocolate, but that usually includes milk. And ruby chocolate is nice as well. That's not right. Needs to be a bit brighter. There are types of white chocolate that have milk in it. It really depends on the type, but most white chocolate is made of chocolate butter. So I always double check the ingredients. There was something I was offered recently, and that too included. Oh, that's part of the stair, so the step ladder. Wait, isn't she supposed to have a lower body over there? Let's add a little line. But really, I challenge you to do groceries. Just your normal groceries. And check them how much milk is in there. And you'll find out that a lot of things have milk in them. White bread, for example. I don't really like brown bread. Mostly the more fibers, the more chewy it becomes, and I don't really like that. But anyway, white bread. I found one type of white bread that doesn't have milk in it, and the store no longer has it because they have a new bakery. So technically I'm best off if I just make it myself, but I don't have that time, and that usually gets spoiled too easily. Anything with a cream, so cream mushroom soup or any other cream soup. I really like asparagus soup, or as we call it, koningin soup. Oh, that's not part of a finger. That's a light. That's a no-go. But if you look at dehydrated soup, there are types of soup that the non-cream one even have milk in them. Yeah, I know white chocolate is mostly a waste product, but if they need a cheap binding agent, they usually add milk powder, or they make it more suitable for children. That's, for example, I believe Kinder Bueno on the Kindersurprise. They sometimes add extra milk to make it more, quote unquote, quotation marks, more healthy. So, let's see, that was some of the dehydrated soups. Nowadays, if I take a dehydrated soup that says it's maybe contaminated with milk, because it's been made in the same factory, then I usually just dilute it. Instead of making it into 1 cup, I make it 2 cups. and then it goes well. But if I eat too much chocolate, that too can mess up anything. And it doesn't even have to be that much. It just has to be and this and that and such and so. Well, it's a good thing I don't. Oh well, I have the vegetables. Vegetables are fine. But if I want to add a sauce, I either have to make it homemade. There's at least a few vegan. There's Alpro Soya, which is a soy milk, and that's a really nice one. It has a really nice cream, so I can make a creamy sauce for a gratin or what's it called? Pasta. So that's something I use. I found vegan cheese, but it can be very fatty. Which I recently used in a meatloaf. I like to do make meatloaf with cheese in it, and then I need to check the meat if it doesn't have any added milk. But I really like cheese. For example, a soft brie. Love it. Can't have it anymore. Did find a vegan camembert, which the crust of the camembert wasn't really tasty, but the cheese inside was very nice. And they say that people with lactose intolerance can handle goat cheese and sheep's cheese better. And there are certain types of goat's cheese that I can handle better. And I had a sheep's cheese one. A good thing I like those. There are some people who don't really like that. But I really like goat's cheese and sheep's cheese. But it's nice. There's now also a vegan cheese option for me. What else? Well, of course, the Alpro Soya also has a vegan yogurt. So I can have that as much as I want. Did I already? Yes, I already had the yellow. So I am getting by and I'm finding more things that I can have. And sometimes I'm just like, well, sorry, but no matter the pain, I want this. You just sometimes have an urge for a hamburger and then it has a slice of cheese. But if I'm doing my best not to have anything lactose related that day, then sometimes it just goes fine. And sometimes, well, I usually only eat the lactose things when I'm at home, so that in case it does go wrong, I have a restroom nearby. But I was at a family birthday this Sunday, and they first offered me pie and absolutely delicious Limburgse vlaai, but it was made with butter, so had to let it go. And then there was they had snacks, coated nuts. Well, considering some add milk, can't have those. Then they had chocolate, well, some sort of chocolate biscuits. Not really sure. Those ones that look like a curl Pringles. No, not pretzels. Pretzels. That was it. Chocolate coated pretzels. Well, looked very milk chocolate. And then they had little sausages, but they I didn't know if there was added milk to it, so they had sausages chocolate pretzels, coated nuts, and well, I doubt they were real M&Ms, but they might have been M&Ms, something like that. Which can either be a sugar coating or a chocolate coating. So I didn't dare to have that. And then they had a cheese platter, which, as you can expect, cheese. And a grilled sausage with cheese filling. And then there were cucumbers and grapes. Well, I love grapes, by the way. I can really eat 2 kilos of grapes in one sitting. So I just had some grapes and cucumber. But did you know there's also, you have to check soft drinks and other juices if they added milk? Because I really love Taxi, but that has added milk. They now have a Taxi syrup when you can add water to yourself, and that is without milk. But if you have the normal fruit juice Taxi, added milk. So you always have to keep that in mind. That's why I'm saying just check it and find out that a lot more things have milk added than people expect. And usually if it's cheaper. If the more cheaper it gets, the more chance there's been milk added. Oh, we're with 5 people watching right now. It's getting busy. You still want to read the title because it's a VAC 3000. And I think that was everything. So yeah, I didn't really have much. Just a glass of water and a few cucumbers and grapes. And then someone made waffles. Homemade Belgian waffles. And they were like, here you go, with whipped cream. And oh, wait. There's milk in here. Even in the whipped cream. Go figure. So, there we go. No sweetness for me. So that's why if people offer me food that I really want, I prefer to take it home in case it does include an ingredient. Because if I do react, I have about 2 minutes to reach the restroom. I really don't have much time. And it took really a long time before I knew what was causing it. So I've really had trouble eating out at friends and the likes because I didn't want to bother them because I thought maybe I insult them because I'm getting sick of their food. And well, the restroom visit is not something to write home about. But at least now I know it, and some people really keep it in mind. And others are like, well, it's your allergy, then you just have nothing. Or why should I keep you in mind? You're not dying of it, so that's why I just usually bring my own food. Also liked Fristy. Really like Fristy. Still like Fristy. I want a vegan option of Fristy. Do they already have a vegan Fristy? Haven't seen it yet. Do they have a vegan Fristy? A vegan Fristy. No, but then I could take the Opera Soya red fruits. Yeah, I could try that. Fristy 0% sugar. It's added with added calcium. Yeah, no thank you. But yeah, there's it has come to my attention that at least the people I met are more tolerant of vegan people than lactose intolerant people. Because why the heck are you allergic to milk? And since you're not dying, you must be overreacting. Hmm. I could mail to Fristy and ask them to create it. But you know, it will come in due time on its own. I have noticed that. We already have vegan chocolate milk. Unfortunately, I don't like chocolate milk, but it does exist. So vegan Fristy will come, and otherwise I can just try the Alpro Soya. The Alpro Soya is quite good to drink. And I'm just very lucky because there are a lot financially less fortunate people, and they can't afford this. The vegan things are more expensive. So for some people, veganism is a luxury choice. And I'm not a vegan. I do eat less meat than years before. Hmm. Forgot this whole spot. But I am glad with the vegan options because it just means I have more options. But seriously, you can have a box of ice cream, creamy ice cream, for about 1, maybe €2, and then you have 8 or 12 ice creams. And if you get the vegan option, the vegan Magnum was €4 for 4 small ice creams. So it's really luxury. Did I get everything? Nope. Did miss a spot. Did I miss a spot over here as well? Yes, also over here. Also missed a spot over there, but that will come later. First, we're gonna do this one. Which color? I'm gonna do yellow this time. But make it soft. And then I forgot to add a little bit over here. Need to do the right layer. Oh, right, and I need to do the little heart. Now the text. I have a lot of text, so might need to have to change some things. At least that saves me a lot of work. That's the wrong layer. Right, I forgot to add a little tail. And they need to be on top. This one is nice and centered. This one. This needs to be slightly smaller. So if I put this on 8, yep. You can barely notice it, but it is a little bit smaller. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, I think this is the text. So anyone who can read Dutch can text check it now. Text is pretty much the same. Okay. And thank you for the confirmation again. And then I'm gonna write the text. Okay, thank you for checking. And now I need to open the other text. Big wall of Dutch text. Yeah. And the last two words are a pun because that's the title of the workshop thingy. Right. While you guys go check it, I'm gonna have a miniature break. Just get something to drink. One moment. I'll be right back, so you won't hear anything. Mic's off. Okay, mic's back on. Thank you for checking it. I am awaiting someone who's a regular who will, well, have to check later. So I am making a save, and for the banner, just I might redo something if he catches something later on. Let's see if I can do this without restarting it. Let's see. Let's make this a tiny bit smaller. Just 7 more comics and year 15 is complete. Okay. Right, so this might be changed later on before posting it because I am waiting for someone to, well, check it. Just one pair of extras eyes. And no, not this one, not this one. I'm not looking for this one. Phew. I'm looking for this one. It's loading file. Loading. Right. It's book stack time again. And by the looks of it, it will probably be the last stack I need to create. And we all know that I always have difficulty with the first book and then I just copy paste things. So first of all, I need to get this one can stay, I don't need that. These two need to go, and then I need stack light. Now let's first get a type of books. Book. And let's see. First get it to the ground. Let's pull off the materials, right? Then I need to needs to look as if it's lying on the floor. That's bigger, Ben. This just needs to move it slightly more. Right? Now to make it smaller. And I need to spin it a bit more. I need to spin it a bit more like this. I think this looks okay. I need to hide the rulers. I don't care for the rulers. How's my materials? It actually fits the floor pattern quite nicely. Okay. So I can go building again. Wait, if I get my other stacks. Okay, so you do see the stack. Right, duplicate. First, book on top. And then we're gonna make it a bit... well, why not? Why not make it a bit bigger? You should be, by the way, over here. And then we're going to duplicate again. I want to move this one slightly. It's a bit smaller and it's a bit off center. There we go. Needs to be quite the high stack. First we need to... No, not this one. Not that one. We need to... No, not that one either. I need to make it that bigger. I need to make it thinner. There we go. Thinner. That's wider. I need to rotate. No, not rotate it. Where's the rotation? Nope, 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 nope. I need to rotate it slightly. There we go. I'm really thankful for this material because it really saved me a lot of time. And it looks a lot better. I mean, I can draw such amazing books. Slightly. How high do I need it to be? Quite high actually. Safe. And if the screen goes black, it just means I have a huge, big file. I wanted to say something else, but in the case I do get monetization activated once in the future, might be best not to swear. Besides, swearing isn't really needed. Right, this can be a bit... let's put it over here. And a bit higher. And this is getting boring and repetitive, so I just need to... Oh, this is a smaller book. But I also want to make it a bit thinner. There we go. Because the books already looked the same. Duplicate. Let's make it a bit bigger. Make him quite thick. It's a thick boy. And now we're gonna... Oh, that's the ground. The ground floor needs to be ground. Stay grounded. This one is on top of the other one, so... Is this high enough? Where's my materials? There we go. Yeah, this is big enough. So, now we're gonna add layers. Wait, wrong one. Clip them all. Okay, make a selection just to preserve file size. Can you imagine? I have to draw a book into the boy's hands at the end, and that's gonna look so much out of place. I just hope it kind of doesn't. We're gonna make you yellow. Wait, there's one below it. Right, I need to clip you too. Then you're going to be a bit orangey. Then we're going to make you red. Pinkish. Absolute pink. Purple. Blue. And the last one's going to be bright blue. For now. So it's not a full rainbow. And I'm probably going to shift hues anyway, so enjoy it while it lasts. Color. 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 This is way too bright. And color. So a few colors need to be muted. Still don't like this color that much. It's way too bright for a book. Of course, nowadays you can have all kinds of colors, but this is supposed to be medieval times, so they didn't really have that much bright colors. And of course I can make it whatever I want, so... But I just want to have some sense of reality. It's already weird to have a rainbow colored pile, so... And now we go to the pages. The individual pages. So perhaps next week I can continue the boy. Not sure yet. But by the looks of this, maybe 2-3 weeks, and then I can finish this image. Oh, there's that shade again. Right, how did I do that again? And shadows. No cast shadows. And this one, no cast shadows, because there's a floating shadow, and that's not supposed to be there. It just can look like a page just sticking out somewhere. For example, there's this little point over here. There's a little point over here. Now it's on. See this little piece of paper? And now it's off. That's the floating shadow that is seen. There we go. Almost forgot to do that. Now we can go to the top and remove those pages. Oh, I need the hard brush, not the soft brush. Right, how about I move to the next layer? That way you can see what I'm doing. And of course, considering the discussion about AI, is this cheating? Well, I consider it cheating, yes, but it was offered for free. So even though it is cheating, it's cheating with permission of the one who created it. So it's more like a collaboration with the other, not really collaborating that much. I mean, AI art is still very different. Sure, you do some editing afterwards, fix those wonky fingers and hands that AI still can do. And let's see. And then I have to try and find a way to see it on my other screen, because if I miss the spot, because my art tablet is quite dark. Still need to add the shade, so not done yet, but it does help if you make a little screenshot of the likes and move it to a different screen. I think I missed a piece of green. I need to have it zoomed in. Let's go to paint. Yeah, missed a whole piece over there. Is there a way for me to make this brighter? If I add a layer. Now I can actually see what I'm doing. I'm gonna keep that here for now so I can see what I'm doing. Text scribbles. First of all, we're gonna save it again. So black screen in 3, 2, 1. No, no black screen. Ah, there goes black screen. There we go. Right. First, I'm gonna add some shade, by the way, because I'm going to forget that. That's way too light. That's the wrong brush. Okay, how does it look without the big one? Oh, but there's no shade over there, right? Oh, this one needs to be behind these ones. And this shade really needs to be darker. So before I go do the text scribbles, I'm gonna add some more shade because I just know I'm going to forget it. And just, how about color? It's just way too purple. So we're just gonna change the saturation to a lot less purple. While I don't mind purple shade, this is just too purple. Wait, I'm doing the wrong layers. Grr. Of course it isn't working then. You need to be here. You need to be here. And you need to be less purple. There we go. Now I can do this one with a new layer. Multiply and a bit less. And I save a lot. Now we can add the light layer again and add the text. Now I have, oh wait, I have this option where I can spin my work space without spinning my actual image. This can go, this can go. S gotta go. I've been watching my own Twitch stream. There we go. Now I'm looking again. Now let's get the harsh pen again. Get a brush. Yep. Bit thicker. Nah, this is fine. Nah, this isn't a good design. I know I've made scribbles before, but this is not nice scribble. I need to have a good scribble. This one's just gonna get markings. And this one gonna have text. And the marking. This one I'm gonna have 3 markings. And a little text. And I still don't read my own language, so I have no idea what these books are about. Again, still. With a little circle and symbol at the bottom. Right. They need to be a lot darker. So we can see what we're doing, and this just needs more. First of all, let's... Wait, and I don't see what I'm doing. No. Now we need to... What was it again? Duplicate the layer. Bottom layer gets a line in white. and then we move it slightly. Okay, and then you just need to lower the opacity of it all. Still way too bright. Okay. Saving again. And now we're gonna add our light source. I did get a candle or a night lantern that I liked. Let's see if I can find it. I think it was this one. First of all, make it smaller, 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 smaller. There we go. Then we're gonna move it over here. It does need some work to make it blend in. Just need to make it a bit more matching of the perspective. Okay, we're gonna duplicate the layer, hide this one, and then merge it so it's no longer a changeable object. See, so now it's stuck, and that makes it easier to match. Delete ruler because we don't need it anymore. Duplicate it one more time, just in case. And I need to lock the transparent pixels. Not lock the transparent pixels just yet. I need to clean that edge a bit. This is a bit too rough. Maybe I do need to lock the pixels. Hardness, opacity. Just need to make it a bit less black outline, considering everything else is no outline. I'm really gonna have to keep the light in mind. Because everything the light touches, to quote a famous person, will be lighter. So I have to do a lot of reworking. But the less black lines I have to deal with, the better. Not sure if I can finish the light part this time, because it is almost 11. And considering I barely slept last night, because my phone was acting up, and I kinda need my phone for my work, because that's safer, that's easier. But if your phone just doesn't work anymore and you need it the next morning to log in, or otherwise you can't work at all, let's get a new layer, clip it, and we're first gonna do a very light and thin layer around the edges, because that's where the light's gonna be. And this is super bright, I know, so don't worry, it needs more tweaking. This one. And I still have to learn a lot about light, by the way, so. I mean, I got no official education because apparently I can't draw, according to the teachers. I mean, if you can't draw a landscape, apparently you're not an artist, so. They were already quite high on their horse about cartoon, anime, fantasy, so I really wonder how they're gonna deal with AI art. Though that teacher probably doesn't live anymore. He was already quite old. Okay, duplicate it. And unclip this one. Blur, Gaussian blur. And this one's gonna be a bit less. Seems I forgot a spot. do like that. Because of course it is a candle, so that is bright. Let's see if I can make the rays of light. Still have to do everything else to make it color matching, but I want to do some of the light. So technically, if I'm correct, this should be somewhat like this. Where is my stack light? It should be here. There we go. That's not. Where's my stack, right? Stack. Did I move it into a... No. Where did I move my light? Right. Okay, so it should be somewhere in here. Stack light. No. Where's my lantern? Here's my lantern. And that should be here. So if I close the stack, I still have my lantern. Okay. And my other light goes probably something like this. Does this work like this? Nope, of course not. Missed the spot. Well, that actually works quite nicely, I think. I actually really like this. I do want to try something. And I'm going to make the shade underneath the lantern because I am going to forget that. Let's see. Because I had the light aura gradient tool. Where do I put that? It's an eraser. Subfill tool. Oh wait, here are my gradients. So bucket. Where's my bucket? Delete subtool. Delete. And my gradients are over here. Now, I've never worked with the gradient before, so here's going. I'm just gonna try it. Okay, new layer. Okay, so that does something like that. I'm gonna move it. Okay, so if I how do I direct this? Start from center. No, I want to start it here. Then I do this. Okay, that's teeny tiny. How do I do this? How do gradients work here? Oh, right. So how do I get this to work the way I want it to work? Okay. Soft light. Just gives it a bit more glow. Now you really see I need to change some more stuff, but now the bottom is really bad. And that's just really highlighting it. Right. Now, not much shade I can do with a lantern, but I am gonna try anyway. Considering it's orange light, I should try to shade. Well, at least I should use trans multiply. This is way too much, I know, but still, just gonna start out. That's a bit too much. Always layer your shadings. Gonna add some dark purple shades because I just want to have some color variation. And purple does often give a more warm type of shade. I do need a texture for the lantern because it's just very plain and boring, but I have textures aplenty, so I'll do that too. And I'm no Rembrandt van Rijn. I have no natural talent for shading just yet. Might even never learn it. Slightly lighter. Okay, and now the top. That one's gonna be darker. And the bottom. And to get the shade underneath, which is a very thin shade because of the very bright lantern, so I have to be careful. And that's way too light. I think I'm just gonna okay, so I'm just gonna do normal then, so I can at least see what I'm doing. Technically, you don't even see the candle burning, but okay. Let's see if I can make a little flame. And I have to remember when it comes to flames that if it's hot, it becomes white. Okay. Now to get a texture, because like I said, this is just a boring lantern right now, and I have plenty of textures. I have plenty of textures, but little that can be used actually. Because it's a metal lantern, so I need something grainy. So usually that comes to grunge. I think I'm going to try and make a mix. This looks kind of grungy. Wait, where's my Livestream? There we go. This part. You need to be removed because apparently this just does what it wants. Now, multiply does work, but let's see if something else works as well. Soft light. Yep, works as well. Multiply makes it darker. I'm gonna keep soft light. Really, one day I will actually know what I'm doing. Maybe I can use this. Let's see. No, this is just grungy. I scanned these all myself from patterns that I bought. So technically, I should be okay to use them. And this needs to be clipped. And I know this is a galaxy background. I can technically still change the color. Multiply? Nah. Soft light? Yeah, I don't even want the first anymore. Just this one. But I still think that the light is a bit too light. So that can be slightly less light. And this can be slightly less light. Just to give it a little bit more. Is there a way I can enhance the pattern? Because right now it looks like a blob. You can hide. Just needs to get a little bit more texture. I just need to get the original for a moment. So I actually know what I'm doing. This needs to be blurred. and multiply with a little bit less. There we go. Now to put these back on. This is better. Just a few more pieces need a little. It's this piece. This piece needs a little bit more contrast. Maybe I can get that contrast, but this is an experiment again. Okay. I'm still a bit bothered by the lack of shade at the bottom. Thing is, there is very little shade. Because there's a big light. Maybe I can fix it a little bit more. Then I do like it, but it is more the focus point instead of the boy. So perhaps it helps if I make it a little bit lighter. It is a bit too dark. I think well, maybe the boy will become more focal point, but this might not even be the right. It's okay, but I think I need to redo that. So instead of purplish, I go more reddish. pinkish? Nah. Probably need to go more orangey reddish. And this needs to multiply. And I guess we'll just have to see how the little boy will turn out. And then I can shift and redo focus and maybe just play a bit with the focus and make everything else a little bit blurred except the boy. That's also a possibility. So I think this is what I'm gonna do for now. Did more than I intended to. And all there's left is the boy, which is gonna take a couple of weeks. Considering books and, well, maybe the base flats might be easy. It's just everything else that's gonna be tricky. But we're going to do the best we can. So I'll be seeing you next time. I'm expecting next week. So yeah, I'm expecting next week. Yeah. So I'm gonna upload this on YouTube. And I'll be seeing you. Bye bye.